Welcome to Sociology Visualized. In today's lecture, we will explore one of the most foundational methodological debates in social science research, induction and deduction. These are not merely abstract logical tools, they shape how knowledge is produced, validated, and interpreted across disciplines. From the works of Francis Bacon to Karl Popper, the tension between induction and deduction has defined the philosophy of science itself. At its core, this debate asks: do we begin with observation and move toward theory, or begin with theory and test it through observation? Understanding induction. Definition and core idea. Induction is a method of reasoning that moves from specific observations to broader generalizations or theories. In simple terms, you observe patterns in the world. You build a theory based on those patterns. This approach is strongly associated with empiricism, particularly the work of Francis Bacon. Example in social science. Suppose a sociologist conducts fieldwork in multiple villages and observes increasing education levels among women, greater participation in decision-making, decline in traditional patriarchal norms. From these observations, the researcher may induce: education leads to women's empowerment in rural societies. Characteristics of induction. Bottom-up approach. Flexible and open-ended. Often associated with qualitative research. Generates new theories rather than testing existing ones. Strengths of induction. 1. Discovery-oriented, allows emergence of new concepts. 2. Context-sensitive, captures lived experiences. 3. Useful in unexplored areas. Limitations of induction. Problem of generalization: can limited observations justify universal claims? Vulnerable to bias. Lacks certainty. This critique was famously articulated by David Hume, who argued that induction has no logical guarantee of truth. Understanding deduction. Definition and core idea. Deduction is a method of reasoning that moves from general theories to specific observations. In simple terms, start with a theory or hypothesis. Test it with empirical data. This approach is central to positivist science and strongly associated with Karl Popper. Example in social science. A researcher starts with a theory. Modernization leads to secularization. From this, they derive a hypothesis. Societies with higher industrialization will show lower religious participation. They then collect survey data to test this. Characteristics of deduction. Top-down approach. Structured and systematic. Often associated with quantitative research. Focuses on hypothesis testing. Strengths of deduction. 1. Clarity and precision. 2. Testability and falsifiability. 3. Scientific rigor. Limitations of deduction. May overlook context and meaning. Dependent on validity of initial assumptions. Can be too rigid. Induction versus deduction, a comparative insight. Dimension induction-deduction. Direction specific to general to specific. Purpose theory building theory testing. Research type qualitative-quantitative. Flexibility high-low. Key thinker Bacon, Hume Popper. Beyond the dichotomy, combined approaches. In practice, social science research rarely relies purely on one method. Iterative logic of inquiry. Most research follows a cyclical process. Observations theory, induction. Theory testing, deduction. Refinement of theory. This is sometimes called the inductive-deductive cycle. Grounded theory. Developed by Barney Glaser and Anselm Strauss, grounded theory is a systematic inductive methodology where theory emerges from data. Abductive reasoning. Introduced by Charles Sanders Peirce, abduction involves moving between data and theory, seeking the best possible explanation. This is especially useful in interpretative sociology. Relevance in contemporary sociology. Positivist tradition deductive logic. Interpretivist tradition inductive logic. Postmodern approaches challenge both, emphasize plurality. Thinkers like Max Weber emphasize understanding, Verstehen, often blending both approaches. Conclusion: rethinking scientific reasoning. Induction and deduction are not mutually exclusive but complementary modes of reasoning. Induction gives us new ideas. Deduction gives us rigorous testing. A mature sociological inquiry requires a dynamic interplay between observation and theory, between imagination and verification. If you found this lecture helpful, do like, subscribe and share this video. Thank you.